Falter Ash. So we're back at it. This is not going to be a very in-depth video because we've already shown how to fully strip and rebuild distributor in the videos up to now. I just fitted the casting onto the bottom of it there, gave it a bit of a clean. That will be for sale. This is another one I'm after doing last night. It actually came apart lovely and easy. Let's get the bearing there. So the first one I was working on had this exact same bearing as well, and it's strange, it's a Hoffman bearing. So it sounds very German to me, and it's strange that Lucas in England, in Birmingham in England, would have went for a German bearing when they have their own Timken bearings. I think maybe they're American, I don't know, but Timken would have been what I was expecting, to be honest. But anyway, that's no big deal. This distributor is a little bit different. The truss bearings truss washer is a lot thicker than the other one. I have another spare one here as well, just to show comparison. So this is 1958 and this is 1950. So they did obviously revise them a little bit. So this shaft might be a little bit longer because of that. The pin as well is thicker. I'll get it now. So the pin that goes through here, through the dog nut at the end, is a lot thicker and it's a lot easier to tap out. I had no problems getting that out whatsoever. So that was another little revision. So the hole was a lot bigger. So I had no issue at all getting that out. And strangely enough, I had no issue getting the bearing out. In fact, when I tapped this out with the plastic hammer, the bearing was actually left in there, in the housing. And I literally got brass drift and tapped it up very easily. So this time around, I'm after shop blasting the points plate and just literally at the earthen points, and did shop blasted this just like the last one. For this part here, the distributor shaft, what I did was I grabbed it very lightly in the chuck of the electric drill. I put the hand in the vise, sorry, not the handle in the vise, and I was able to, that was holding the drill, and I was able to pull the trigger, have that spinning, and then I got a fine sandpaper, just because the advance lad that goes over that was very notchy. So I just wanted to get a little bit more free on it. It has to be free to work properly. So a little bit of fine sandpaper, stuck in my wires into the island holes. These were blocked. So what I did was I shoved the wire right through the top two, brought it over to the air gun, blew down there, and that then brought the air down to the bottom, and I got them cleaned out nicely. So that's, I'm learning as I go along, the rare chéile, bit by bit. Now, what I want to show in this video is, this is a lovely original style, well, original, it is original, it's not even original style. It's a genuine Lucas distributor cap. Now, if you're looking at the first few videos of me going through this consignment of distributors, you'll see that the acorn in the middle from the coil was broken off when I got it, and it was below the surface, so I had to kind of drill a hole down through it and try and pick it out. I managed to do that. But what I want to do, and why I like these compared to the new ones, I should have a new one here, is these are grand, but you see that aluminium there, that corrodes and it goes into a white dust, and it does need continuous cleaning along with them. It doesn't take it very long for them to start getting scummed up, as you can see there. This was actually never used, this one was brand new. So yeah, these are brass, and this is what I have fitted to my own gold belly. It's the proper Lucas with the little mark on it, the brand mark on it there. What it was sitting in for some of its life, I do not know. It's like some sort of a yellow clay. But I want to clean up these. Now, you can scratch away at sandpaper if you want, of course, nothing stopping you doing that. But I'm just going to try using the Dremel with a little bit of a sandpaper bit on it. And we'll just see, does it actually, will it work nicely for us? I don't want to take much off because, you know, you don't want too much of a gap between this and the rotor arm for the spark to have to jump. Just want to get a bit of a shine up on it. You can see it's starting to shine up there a little bit. And then we can finish it then by hand. The final one there. Gives this lad there in the middle a bit of a clean as well. So that's just to show you what is underneath these original distributor caps. Lovely brass, far better. I don't know, is it a better conductor of electricity than metal, but it's definitely probably better than aluminium, which is what seems to be in, or some form of a cheap alloy that seems to be in the new ones. So now that they're cleaned up a little bit, it's just taken some of the hard work out of getting there. I suppose here into the parts washer if we had to. It doesn't really matter that it's dusty in there anyway. A bit of a clean out, a blowout, an air gun, or maybe just a paintbrush, maybe a dry paintbrush, and just loosen that and that's loose. And you don't have to be too fussed about that, but it's just to get the connections nice and clean. So that's roughly what we'll do with that. Now for in here I want to show as well what I want to do, because you have to be careful in here because of the plastic threads, the Bakelite threads. This isn't even plastic. This will crack if it falls on the concrete floor, like it's Bakelite. So you screw out your acorns, and some of these, well, some of them actually aren't too bad, but as you'll probably see, you know, you do get the green on some of them. So we'll give that a clean up with a different head on the Dremel. I have a very fine polishing head. The stone over the head, and I find it does the trick nicely. I think the fine ones are white, if I'm not mistaken, in here. This is just some assorted ones. I could use the blue one if I wanted. I want it to be wide enough to be able to do it flat. And I want to make sure it goes below. No, that could damage the thread, so a little bit narrower. I want to be very careful that I don't. Yeah, that's probably able to do it. Just try and keep the hand steady. We'll push it in a little bit more. I think this Dremel is shagged, basically. It's on its last legs. So what you get then is just starts shining her up a little bit. Now I need to spend a bit longer, and that just doesn't seem to be great there. There's not a great, I don't know what the hell is wrong with that. Is it worn or something? But the right polishing. I've more than two more boxes of bits for this particular, for this Dremel, so maybe that'd be better. Yeah, that'd be better. Because of the shape of it, it shouldn't damage anything further up than the threads. We play around a little bit. Oh yeah, that's the job. I could use the drill if I wanted this time. So there'll definitely be a new Dremel needed soon. It doesn't mind working sideways, but it's not mad about going facing straight down. I think the bearings are so bad in it now, it's the brushes are probably struggling to make contact. I think this drill here will do the same trick, it's just it's harder to keep it steady, I suppose. Maybe it's not. Yeah, there's a fair bit of corrosion in it. Yeah, so it does do a nice job. You can see it's starting to come up a bit. Some of them need a bit more. And even a bit more. So maybe my blue one there might work. It's a bit narrow, but it's just to be able to focus it a bit more on what we need to polish. So that's looking a bit better. Could go a little bit more just to get it 100% right, but seems to me anyway to be nice. And it's not anyway harsh, like it's not pulling lumps off, as you can see. Doing very much just polishing it really, you know, there's no mad big lumps of brass dust coming off it there, or filings, you know. So that is good. We can then test the middle there to make sure, test it for continuity is what you'll hear people saying, and it's basically just a way of saying make sure power is coming through it. So if you have a voltmeter, you put it onto the continuity test, touch them, and it's making that sound, and then you want to see it making the sound coming through there. It just tells you that that little lad in there is making his connection. Sometimes with these, what I do is I just pull the spring out a little bit, and it just gives it a little bit more, has it sticking out a little bit prouder. It makes a better connection then. Okay, what else can we do? if I have a HT lead for the crack, we could see if that were working here. I don't know, is this going to work now? Because sometimes we do have a little bit of gap between the rotor arm and the distributor cap. So it's screwing in there. Take him out. Get a bit of crocodile clips as I come back. Purely experimental because I don't know now is it actually going to work. What I'm hoping to do is check for continuity. Now this is pure and utter, just for the fun of it now, because the spark will jump anyway, like if it's good and strong, like. But if we turn the distributor and line up at this particular cylinder here, put this onto continuity, we'll see as I get to a point where it actually, no, it doesn't seem to have gone around there. I was thinking, alright, yeah, it was a bit far-fetched. So there will be unless we have a bad connection, because that should be beeping there. Am I on the right connection? Second now. I am. Look for the crack. We'll turn it one more time and see can we get it. No, but don't think it doesn't really matter, but it's just for fun, really. Like, see if it actually, it's so tight in there at the rotor arm and the distributor cap that it actually sends it. Like we definitely do, I'd say, have continuity in the lead. Like you'd expect that much anyway. But I wasn't expecting this to work anyway, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's not important, not important. Just for the crack, just in case. It did work, it would have been interesting, but it didn't, and that's not a big deal. There is going to be a gap between that, kind of has to be, otherwise this will start shaking and all that and getting battered. So, yes, that is our good distributor. I've ordered a few more bearings for these. I've ordered 4 because I know some of them probably take slightly different bearings. There's 2 types, I think. So actually, yeah, let's take a look at these acorns here. A lot of the time you only need these if you're actually going making your own HT leads. I did that with my Go Belly. I got the length of HT cable. But it's kind of the best way, to be honest with you. Single core kind of, or was it not single core, multi-core kind of copper. But Jesus, whatever the hell this is, won't really affect its function. It's only just to act as a kind of a washer, really, like. But the Dremel might be able to tidy them up with a little plastic brush. It definitely was in some form of a clay of some kind, I'd say. What we got in our box of goodies. Is this 100% ideal, this one now? That's probably too wide. We'll try the plastic brush first because that should open out when it's spun. Let's see if we can knock out a bit of this. Okay. Whatever that is, and it's very sticky stuff. It's not exactly, it's kind of happy where it is. I'm starting to think it was some kind of a nest, some kind of an insect nest or something, because there was little, first few bits I took out, and one of them was all slimy looking like. That would do, because they're probably most likely original, I'd say. But again, they're only good if you're going making up your own HT leads. Because if you buy HT leads, the screw-in type, they'll already be on it. Like, if I have a set of new ones there, and they're already on it. Now you can buy push-in connections with on a push-in distributor cap. It won't be as original as they say, but I think I have a new set of leads there, and they're already on it with the little kind of rubber lads over them as well, so you get these kind of style. That'll literally screw straight in, like, you know, the job is OXO, like, you know. So that's always an option. But if you like to make your own and put a nice champion set of plug caps on, you're better off having a few of them acorns. So what else can I show you? I'm having problems with these made in France condensers. They're the right one. They're 22 microfarads or farads of whatever measurement that is, but that is the right measurement. But the brackets are just way too big. So your condenser is meant to sit in this little indent in here. And what's happening with this is, as you can see, we're sticking out, and then when you do actually go messing with a file and bringing it in, it starts hitting off. The cam. The cam's coming up there, and it's hitting that, and it's whack. It'll wear your cam, and it'll be bent up so much. When you try and put your cap over it, it'll be sitting too proud. So I think for this particular one, I've just had a look through my own condensers, and I have this lad here. Did a bit of filing work on him there, and he's just nice there. He sits fairly right in the indent, and I made this lad here, this little bit of a wire connection, square type of a spade connector on it then, and that seems to fit perfectly across the input little power in bolt. It just slots in good and tight, so that I'm happy with that. So they're just the things that I was up to in the last evening or two. I said I wouldn't go videoing unless I had something to show. So yeah, that was it. So all I done was I said I put that in the vise, in the chuck of the drill, tidied this up a little bit here. This little thread for pulling the oil up into this machined area here. It's very dirty. Just look, the usual crack. Wire brush drill. Polished up here where the bearing goes. Same thing with a very fine sandpaper. This in the drill. Put this in the drill, then polish all this up, because that advanced and retired lad, it was just for my bit too, it was really tight. I had an awful job even getting it off. So now it's perfect. It's going to do its thing. It just gets notchy at the very end, but I don't think it's going to even make it down to the very end, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the weights will probably hold it up a little bit from the end. If they do, we're happy. And if they don't, it's still very notchy. We're going to have to do a bit more work. We'll make sure that's nice and free to pull that around. I'm not 100% happy with that now either. I think it's still a little bit too notchy. Move the weight out of the way. Yeah, so we need to work on that. So that's no problem. We're learning. We're learning. So it needs to be worked on right down the very end. Literally feel tight a patch or two in it, whereas when you come up a little bit, it's lovely. So I'm trying to figure out why it is, it's what's causing it. But look, what we'll do, since we did this work already with some of it, we didn't show you, may as well try and do it again. You see, if you had it later on, you could bake away at that. We'll just grab it nice and soft in there. This is the end that goes through the dog, so the kind of dog gear, so it's not machined. It's not very, very important that it's you know, it's not as if the bearing surface, like, so you can hold that in there, tighten up your handle, and we're just going to get a little bit of sandpaper that's not overly rough, coarse, I should say. You do have to watch them little dimples sticking out there, catch the finger. So wrap it around a few times here and just try and get a nice square enough an edge on it there. I'm going to focus right in there. So that's the reason why probably as well I wasn't. Getting in there because my finger was getting hit by it the whole time. So we'll just see, can we make it a bit better? Still very, it's like there's a tight patch on it, which is strange because there isn't there. So maybe it's in there. Is there a dent on it there at the very bottom? There could be. So what I'm going to do, I don't think I have any choice, is just hit it with a little round foil here, just at the very, very end. The very, very end. Just see if we can. It's a really, really hard bit of metal actually. Just chamfer it very slightly. See if we can get it out, because that will stop the weights from working and doing their thing. You can feel a little bit there or something. Let's go around and make sure we feel good. Oh wait, there's a bit of it, something there. still there's something going on there. It's loose and it tightens, loose, tightens. It is better though. This simply has to be nice and free. Maybe that is improving it. Thought I felt a little dent in it there somewhere. They are only shampooing it. Yeah. So could have just got a tap of a hammer at some point. That's all it's taken there. Just a very, very, you can probably just see it there, very slightest chamfer on it. So you go around it slowly without stabbing yourself like I do. Go around it slowly. I felt a little, there we go. That's in there. A little burr. It's seriously hard metal, so you might take a while. Will be a few filings in this, so it'll be probably a little bit stiff for a second. Yeah, there's a filing or two there, surely. That's okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. So that kind of stuff, you don't do it, all the rest of the work is in vain. You rev up your engine, time is meant to advance. It is not going to advance. Now we're winning. That's all I wanted. That's without oil. Put a bit of oil on that, solid finished. So, and again, that's lovely and hard. And chuck doesn't affect it at all. In fact, it probably just grips in those little kind of threads there for pulling up the oil, so not important. So there are just some little pointers that I said I'd show you. Don't know what I'm going to call the video, because it's not really very specific about any one distributor really, it's just general bits and pieces, but that's how I'm learning as I go along. That's lovely and free now. And then the same for this as well. This you can use the battery drill there, even in she goes. Get your sandpaper and just rub it. You want to give your bearing area a little go. This is very fine sandpaper, like. And then what I do is I get a rag with metal polish on it, believe it or not, and then that leaves it completely spotless, like really nice. But you can see there's basically, you can't see any marks on it at all. It just makes pushing the bearing on it a lot easier, and a lot less chance of baiting things, or having to bait things, and a lot less chance of damage. And yeah, another thing I will say is this does need to be cleaned up down there. As much as, yes, it doesn't look too bad, it's only when you go looking down you realise how dirty these can be, especially if they haven't been oiled. So just a bit of WD. Plastic brush. Go ahead. And I suppose the best way to clean it, maybe a bit of paper, little stuff down, just to get all that. I might just have loosened up a bit of crap in it there, because this was a pig to get off. Like, I don't know if I showed it. I had to put it in the vise and start tapping and stuff like that. It's not ideal because intricate parts, and the metal on them is very hard. So you put a dent in this, or a dunt, or a burr, you know, it can be bloody hard to get it out. So just to get a bit of that crap out of it, we'll make sure everything just. Now, considering there was 2 tight patches in that Mintico, and just a bit of WD and clean it, that's where we're at. That thing is going to advance to retard, no bother at all. So there's just some pointers. Clean up distributor caps. If you're taking that apart, you know, make sure a lot of time the bottom oil holes are blocked. Well, a lot of time they're both blocked, but put your bit of wire right through the top, go over to your air gun, blow down. There's kind of what is it? A gauze in there. So you need to block them, or block them with your fingers if you want, and then try and get the air coming out there, because that's as important as well. This top one more so is meant for oiling the advanced retard lad here. And the bottom then, you know, is meant to drain down towards the bearing here, and kind of give the weights a bit of oil under there as well. So just some pointers. That's where we'll leave it. Okay, let me kind of. Pointer is this aluminium jaws here off kind of a pillar drill. Ideal for this, will not damage this, because this is softer than that. So that I just chanced that the pin, I just chanced tapping it through, and this is another distributor, and it tapped through lovely. This is a 1953 distributor, so like the first one, it's a very narrow pin compared to the 58, and I can see straight away it's coming out lovely and easy. So that's good. Lovely. And we should have a truss washer there. There we are. Truss washer, very important. And now we just give this a spin and see if it will come up and out. So the the bearing is still in. Has a bit of a grip. Sounds terrible. Very gravelly, so not good. So what we'll do, let me see. Be very careful here again. Might just tap it by hand. Just get the plastic hammer. Because one thing that breaks in these distributors a lot of times is this lad here. Yeah, that'll break, and okay, that came off. That's strange. I've never seen that before. Coming off. So that'll have to tap back on. Does press down onto it there, as you can see. But I've never seen it come off before. Now we're going to need a bit of a reference from another one to see how that actually goes back. That's interesting now. So that's not great. That wasn't meant to happen. Anyway, we'll go and have a look there and see if we can get a reference from another distributor. It is star shaped, so I should be able to find. I took a picture of it before I took it out as well, so I'll go and refer back to that. Okay, so I can see what's actually going on here now. So I can just give this. It's actually just dunted, we'll say, from some machine in the factory. So I'm just going to use this kind of a sharp roofing chisel just to dunt down the top, like a center punch, that kind of a job, and that should stiffen back up again. Then we can just take out the bearing. That's doing the trick, lovely. It's splined, so it should be, once it's done, it should be sound. You don't have to be go crazy hard at it. Lovely, solid. So that's it. That's all you got to do. once it's dunted down nicely all the way around, this little star there on each, kind of give it a bit of a center punch, and then it's solid again. So that's good. Now we're going to take a look at this bearing and see what we can do. I'm very surprised at that, but then again, these things happen. So I'm actually going to bring it over to the parts washer first. May as well get a bit of diesel in around that first. So that tab, put it over the edge. You don't want that getting damaged. Pull over it. Make sure it's well over the edge there. Okay, pull forward the cardboard as well if we can. Try and reduce the chances of breaking anything. Slide down our brass drift. It should catch the bearing. I think that's... No, that wasn't it. We catch the bearing, we can. I think I'm alright, that felt a bit timbery. Yeah, it's coming up. Easy is the key here. Tug a bugay, tug garege. Thankfully you can catch the side of the bearing. Oh, is this another Hoffman? Yeah, I think. TH. Gives that a bit of a clean. Just out of interest to see is it something similar to the rest of them. Nothing on that side. England, okay, we got an England one here. Timken. It was Timken, alright. They wouldn't have ordered bearings from Germany. England. TH. L55HA. Don't see anything under. My money will be on Timken. A lot of dirt down there. Feels crap as well. Anyway, that's that. And there's our very dirty, wherever the hell this was. Very dirty and all that crap. Pure gravel. Grit. Horrible. Horrible stuff. That's going to need a serious clean out. Serious clean out. So we'll just take off the name plate here. We'll take off the part number plate here. This will be ready for a good clean and into the shop blaster then. Get all the nooks and crannies cleaned out. And when my bearings come in, we'll be able to fit the bearing, because this one is definitely in need of it. 40243D 5 of 53 version 160. So that's the earlier, if I'm not mistaken, the earlier Ferguson 20 TVR. I have it written on the page there anyway. The good thing about these castings is they just don't corrode. So that's that. We'll get rid of these parts, keep it together. This is ready for a good bath now in the parts washer, and we have to get all that crap out of it. So that's what I'll go and do.